Hi, everybody. I want to go over the week 9 assignments with you to give you a better idea of what you are to do. So, first of all, you are going to review my feedback on your argument breakdown worksheet. And that is where you analyzed the article that I assigned for Unit 3, An Epidemic of Loneliness. Just look at my feedback to help you better understand the claims and evidence and so forth from that article. The next thing you're going to do is some reading. You want to read writing summaries and summary writing tips. I can't stress enough how important it is for you to read these two items thoroughly, because for the Unit 3 essay, you will be summarizing an epidemic of loneliness. And so it's very important that you understand how to do that. These two readings will really help you understand how to do that. Of particular note, please make sure you know how to write the first sentence in a summary. So again, these two items are extremely important for you to read. The next bullet item is some optional reading. So we have done quite a bit with paraphrasing and quotations, but there is some reading this week in Unit 3 that would refresh your memory and perhaps help you refine your skills in those two areas. The other reading is called Help! My thesis statement is changing. That one isn't really required, but it may be of interest to you. So look that one over as well if you'd like. Okay, that brings us to the graded assignment for this week, and that is the planner for your Unit 3 summary response essay. So let's open up that document and see what you need to do. The planner is organized by the sections of your essay. So Section A is the introductory paragraph. Section B is the summary, which would also be a paragraph. Section C is the body, which is your response to the article, and that should be at least 3 paragraphs, possibly 4. And then finally, Section D is your conclusion, and of course, Section E would be your references. So quickly going over those sections. For the introduction here on the planner, put down what you plan to use for your attention grabber or hook. If you can find some kind of interesting statistic or fact or data from either the article you're responding to, the one I assigned, An Epidemic of Loneliness, or the reading that you found when you did your database exploration assignment, this might be a good place to use that information. If you even want to find some interesting stat from another source, you are free to do that. But remember, you will have to add that source to your references and make sure you know how to cite it. So here on the planner, give me an idea of what you plan to do for that. The next part is the background and context. So once you've gotten the reader's attention, what do you need to tell the reader to basically understand the topic of this essay? Part of this context, which is very important, is that you mention the article that you're responding to, which is An Epidemic of Loneliness. So make sure that you do that. And then finally, you're going to end the introduction with your thesis statement. Now, normally you would formulate your thesis statement first and then create your body paragraphs to support it. But for this response, we're asking you to look at 3 or maybe 4 points of discussion from the article that I assigned, An Epidemic of Loneliness. It could be things you agreed with or things you disagreed with, and you certainly are not talking about everything in the article. You're going to do that in Section B, the summary. So pick 3 areas that you're interested, again, possibly 4. And then what I would do is fill in the body section in terms of your main points first. Once you do that, then you go back to your thesis statement and make sure that that covers all that you're planning to develop in your essay. A good example of what a thesis statement might look like for this essay is to say, I agree with the article that item 1, item 2, item 3. Or I agree with the article about this, but I disagree about that and that. So that may be a good way to approach the thesis statement for this particular kind of essay. All right, moving on to the summary. You see here 5 numbered items. This is where you're going to list the main key points from the article that you are responding to. 5 is actually probably not bad for this article, but it is not a magical number. So if you find 4 key points or 6 key points, that certainly would be fine as well, and you can add or subtract. Certainly for this article, you probably do need about 5 or 6 key points when you look at it and look at the different sections of the article. Now, when you do your reading on the summary writing, you'll know that the first sentence has to be a certain way. You don't have to put that on your planner, but if you want to put that first sentence here where it says number 1, you're certainly welcome to, so that it reminds you what to do in the final essay. All right, getting back to the body paragraphs, for each one, you're going to write out your main point. And as I said, this is something you want to do really before you write your thesis statement. So you're going to choose 3 or maybe 4 topics that were covered in the article that you want to discuss. And make sure you write that here where it says first main point, second main point, third main point, etc. For each of those main points, you need to provide 2 kinds of information and maybe 3. First of all, you need to provide information from the article itself. So if you're talking about a particular area, make sure that you explain what the article said. Again, there's a couple of numbers here. Those aren't magical. You can add more. Obviously, you need to have at least 1 piece of information from the article. You may quote or paraphrase. Please include the citation so I know what paragraph number you got that information from when you list that. The second thing you need for all of your body paragraphs is information from yourself. This is a personal response, so you want to make sure that you include your ideas, your examples, your observations, your experiences. Don't just tell me what the article said. Again, there's a couple of spots here for you to put that information. You can add to that. You can detract a little bit, but you have to have something that comes from you. Those 2 areas are required for each of your body paragraphs. The third kind of information you might include in your body paragraph is information from the article that you found when you did your database exploration. You must use something from that article in this essay. You may use something in each of your body paragraphs, but the article you found may not be relevant for all of the points you're going to discuss. So just make sure that you use it somewhere. And here on the planner is where you would write that information. It could be quoted or paraphrased. Please include the citation with the paragraph number, so I know where you got that information. So this information is there under all of the body paragraphs, but you only need to use it once. And then the fourth main point is optional. Everybody has to have at least 3, but you may choose a 4th point if you wish to. For the conclusion, of course, you're not putting any new information, so just give me a couple of sentences to indicate what you plan to say as you wrap it all up in your conclusion. And then the last thing I want you to do is to list your references in APA format. So that would be an epidemic of loneliness, the article that you found in your database exploration. So everybody will have 2 references. If you do find some additional information that you use in your hook, obviously you would list that here as well. All right, so you're going to fill out that document and make sure you submit it by the due date for this week. And that's it for this week. If you have any questions, please contact me and I'll be happy to assist you.